Hello and welcome into BTN's Take 10 podcast. This is Alex Roux of BTN. And before we jump into this week's episode, a quick word from our sponsor, Northwestern University School of Professional Studies. You can build a solid foundation in the strategic, creative, and analytic skills that are essential for success in the business of sports in the master's program in sports administration at Northwestern University. Find out more at sps.northwestern.edu/sports. All right, like I said, if you are looking to find a job in the sports industry, looking to work at a place like BTN, check out the opportunities at Northwestern School of Professional Studies. That master's program I just mentioned could be a great avenue toward a career in sports, and we appreciate our neighbors at Northwestern sponsoring the show. All right, now to get to this week's episode. It's a shorter episode than we've done in the recent past. It's just one interview. Our producer, Colleen, who does the Call for the Culture segment every week, is in France right now, in Europe. So she is taking a break from the podcast, and I will be holding it down solo on this week's episode. And actually, I shouldn't say solo because we have a guest, as we always do, to kind of anchor the episode. And this week, it is an in-person interview. I always think in-person interviews are a little more smooth and a little easier to kind of get the flow of a discussion going and get a little more out of an interview subject. And it helps when the interviewee is super personable and engaging, like this week's guest is. And this week's guest is Eric Ayala. He's a guard on the Maryland Terrapins basketball team. I was out in the D.C. College Park area earlier this week and got a chance to sit down with Eric. Appreciate the Terps staff and SIDs for setting that up and giving me that opportunity and kind of showing me around Xfinity Center, which is a beautiful facility where the Terps have called home for a couple of decades now. And got to sit down with, like I mentioned, Eric and have about a 30-minute discussion about his life, his upbringing, and his basketball career, which I got off to a really nice start on a young, exciting Maryland team this past year, which was his freshman season. So we'll get right into that and let the Terps incoming sophomore take it from here. It's Take 10 podcast interview with Eric Ayala, and it starts right now. All right, I'm very pleased to be joined here at the University of Maryland by University of Maryland point guard Eric Ayala. Eric, what's up, man?
How you doing, man? How everything going?
I'm good. Happy to be here. Happy you could join me.
Yes,
we're sitting here in May, about a month after the college hoop season wrapped up. What's this time of year look like for you? Are you chilling? Are you working out a lot? What's it look like?
a lot of training. For me personally, right now, my diet and my body has been like a focus point for me. Heading to the summer and into next year. So just cutting down on some things and tuning up my body to get ready for the season.
So you came in with some takeout, some food. What are you about to snack on?
I got a chicken Caesar salad right now. So trying to keep it cut. Nice right now, but so right now I'm not doing no bread, no fried foods, nothing like that. So
low carb diet.
Yeah, it's been a little tough challenge, but I've been doing pretty well with it.
Are you guys done with class? Still have class going on?
I actually had class this morning, so we're in like our finals stage, of getting finals exams done and just cracking down on their school year, and semester should be over within a few weeks. So, I should be in a good spot right now with my grades and stuff.
So you hanging out here this summer, or are you going home?
I think we'll be back here. I think I'm taking a summer session, summer classes this summer. So we'll be training and stuff like that throughout the summer. And I'll probably take a break. We'll take a break after finals. I think we get like a week or week and a half before we got to come back to school and, get right back to it.
So you're from Delaware, right? Wilmington?
Yes, sir.
You go home during that break and hang out with family?
Yes, sir. Yeah, just hang out with family and friends, This actually, at the University of Maryland, this is the closest I've been to home, I would say in the last 3 years or so. I did a postgraduate year in Florida at IMG, right. And then 2 years before that at Putnam Science, Connecticut. So that was, them 3 years was tough, being away from family and friends, feeling disconnected sometimes. But, here at the university, my mom has been at almost every home game, even some away games, and, especially to feel her presence at the games and stuff.
Yeah, I want to get deeper into your background a little bit. I was reading up on you, and there was a quote about your upbringing in Delaware and Wilmington. How a lot of people you knew are either dead in jail. Yeah. And I know you formed a close bond with your mom. So can you just get into what growing up there was like and how you made obviously a success story?
I mean, it wasn't easy. I mean, just, my mom kind of kept a good head on my shoulders. She raised me pretty well, to be solid, a good kid and, just, take it one day at a time, not really look into the future and, take on the task at hand. So whatever that was, whether it was school, outside, just trying to do the right thing and make the right decision. So, one day at a time, I'm now here at the University of Maryland living my dream.
And you touched on it a little bit, going away to school and being away from your mom. Mm-hmm. I read that she would stop taking your calls because you were trying to come home.
Yeah.
So what was that like when, she essentially just cut you off? Did you kind of have no choice but to sink or swim there?
Yeah, I mean, so I was in high school in my home state, Delaware, and, it's pretty much basketball. It's not really looked upon. You go in there, you kill. Everybody don't really love basketball like that, So I was one of the few in the state that really loved basketball and had a passion for it. And I knew for me to reach the dreams and, the places I wanted to go, I had to leave the state, just for better competition, more exposure, those type of things. And I got to Connecticut, and that was kind of my first time being in an environment where there was, I wasn't the only best player in the room. I was around other talented players, high Division I players and stuff like that. And it was a challenge at first, because I was used to being the best player, used to things going my way, and I had to adapt to the environment and learn how to play with so many other good players on the court. And a lot of people go through that experience when they get to college. Fortunate for me, I got to go through that experience early. So, when I got here, it was nothing new, just to go out there and compete and play my game. And but yeah, that experience was tough because I was, so uncomfortable in that new environment, just trying to figure it out. And I would be calling her, I'm trying to transfer, I want to go back home, trying to look at different schools I could transfer to. And, she just made me stick it out. And, that life lesson carried on, throughout my life.
Absolutely. And you said basketball's not that big in Delaware. I was wondering, are you the best hooper to ever come from Delaware? Or?
We got a couple guys, Trayvon Duvall, he was at Duke, Trevor Cooney, he was at Syracuse, A.J. English, he was at Ayala. A lot of up-and-coming players now in the state, playing high school basketball there now. So, it's definitely on a come-up, I guess you would say. But it's not one of the prominent places to go look for basketball.
It's like you and Joe Biden are the main representatives of Delaware.
Pretty much,
yeah.
He does a good job, representing Delaware.
So you mentioned, obviously, got deep into how your mom kind of raised you, and I read that you asked her to watch you do a post-game interview. I think it was after the Indiana game.
Yeah.
Why did you want her to see that aspect of your basketball career?
Well, we were actually, I actually just finished getting dressed, and somehow, I usually go out to the court and meet her out on the court, but somehow she was right there by the locker. And I came out the locker, and I had got called up to do media, and the room was right there. So I was like, this would be her first time ever seeing me in that environment. Right. So, it was nothing for her to just step into the door and just take a peek and see, what I was doing. And, I could see a smile on her face throughout the whole time, just seeing how well-spoken I was. And, all the work she put in, paying off and stuff. So not just on the court, but.
She have any feedback or pointers for you on your style?
Nah, she was pretty, just excited to be there and, happy for me, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, had just finished up your freshman year, incoming sophomore, and you're kind of an old head related to your, I guess, peers. Why did you decide to do an additional year of prep school, IMG, after Putnam?
So, when I made the decision to go to Connecticut and, further my game and stuff, I thought I would need a lot more time to, make a decision. And I thought my game would take longer to develop. I kind of did the reclass thing when I went to Connecticut. And, my whole thought process was that I'm going to need that postgraduate year. So when I transferred, I had already made in my mind that I was going to do a postgrad year. So, things kind of happened a little faster than I thought. My game started developing. Schools started to get more interested. And, when it came to my senior year, I felt like physically, I could have went and played college basketball, but I didn't make the if I would have chose to go to college my senior year, it wouldn't have been a smart decision. It would have just been off of phone calls, going to schools, coming to see me and stuff like that. I hadn't visited any schools officially, so that post-grad year, it gave me an extra year to visit the schools, get a feel for the schools, and feel that where I wanted to go. And a plus is I got to do it at IMG,
right.
So which helped me get ready to come play here.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, prep school is obviously different than regular high school basketball, but I feel like IMG is a whole nother level. So what was that like compared to your first prep school? And was it kind of like, I get the sense it's almost like an Olympic village, like just athletes everywhere.
The facilities, is at the top. I haven't really seen any. Sorry about that. Many places like IMG, as far as even colleges that just got everything you need. As an athlete, you got food catered to you, massage therapists there available, endless courts and workout times available, and just a bunch of people who's been in your situation that know what it takes to get there. And they're all in. Everybody at IMG, they're all good people, and they help you out a lot. So you get a lot of insight on what you need to get ready for the next level. And I took that, and it helped me get ready for this year.
Yeah, you mentioned you kind of had a process to go through to prepare yourself to come here. What led you to Maryland, and what was just the whole commitment process like, and how'd you decide ultimately to come here?
Maryland was always a school that I was highly interested in. This was one of the first schools to recruit me as a sophomore in Delaware, and this it's right down the street. So this is probably the closest school to me in Delaware that recruited me. That I was interested in, and as the commitment process got closer and closer, I took my official here, and I could just see, how happy my mom was throughout the whole visit. I know basketball, anywhere I go, would it took care of itself, as long as you do what you got to do on the court and stuff. But, there's something about Maryland, the culture here, everybody's so, nice. And, I kind of wanted to go to, a big school a little bit just because I've been in so small schools like IMG and Putnam Science Academy where the student body wasn't big. So just to have that opportunity to meet new people and, just get the full college experience, not just on the court but off the court. So, I knew Coach Turge for a while. He was very consistent throughout my recruiting process, and then it helped that Coach Brady had coached my AAU coach in college. So that was a plus, in coming here too. Yeah, you mentioned Coach Turgeon. Obviously, you guys just got a big time basketball commit today. Your SID, Sean, sitting over there, let me know right before we came in. Sir.
So, can you get into, I guess, your guys' bond with Coach Turgeon? And then also on these recruiting visits, but now you're kind of ambassador for the team. What's your role in those visits?
I'm actually 3 for 3 on the recruits I hosted, so I got a high percentage when it comes to recruits. And Coach Turge, he's a family guy. I see how he is around his family, and that's how he treats us. And I appreciate him for that. When he's here, he's focused. When we on the court, there's nothing else he's worried about but just helping us, achieve our goals. And he's been a role model in essence, how he's always there to be able to talk to him, and he's always giving feedback, on and off the court. He's always asking how you doing and stuff like that. So I appreciate him a lot just being there. I know some coaches, they there on the court, they're not always there off the court, and I appreciate him being there in both aspects.
So you got the hot hand, you're 3 for 3. What's the secret? Where are you taking these guys? How are you showing them around? Good time?
It's kind of just my connection. Throughout basketball, you make a lot of connections throughout, especially through high school camps, AAU tournaments, all those types of stuff. You just meet different people, and obviously, I guess my personality has. I've met a lot of people and gained close friendships with a lot of people throughout my high school career. And when the younger guys come here, they all see me. They all kind of know me from playing on the circuit and throughout AAU ball and stuff like that. So it's easy to just try to reel them into the school and how it's helped me. How much I love the school. For
sure. And you talked about kind of want to come to a big school. I was curious, what's the student lifestyle like here? It's obviously a big school, but it's also a suburb of a major city. There's plenty to do. What's it like being a college student at College Park?
It's amazing. I wouldn't change a thing, from my whole decision coming here and to being here, this past year or so, my freshman year, I wouldn't change one thing. There's so many people and so many different opportunities, especially Washington, D.C. down the street. It's always something to do, especially, and then we play basketball, so we don't really get to live like the full college lifestyle, going out and having fun. We got other priorities going on. But, it's definitely always something to do, as a student here. And, I just love seeing like new people every day. I think it's 40,000 people that go here. So every day I'm walking on campus, I meet new people, and it just surprised me. To this day, I still see new people that I haven't seen all year. Mm-hmm. So I think that's pretty cool.
Back in November, I think it was, you were quoted as saying, we're going to be one hell of a team come March. So switching to basketball talk now. Mm-hmm. Obviously, I think you were right on that. You just missed the Sweet 16. I think the LSU game was one of the best in the entire tournament. Yeah. How did you know back then, as a freshman, they hadn't played many games yet, what you guys were capable of?
Just all the talent that we were having, like on the court. When I first got here, it was high level. It was intense. When you first get here, everybody knew. Especially we got a lot of freshmen, so we all just trying to go out there and show what we can do, and prove ourselves to each other. And that was fun. Just competing against everybody. We still do it to this day. Whenever we get into the gym, it's competitive. We want to show who the better players on the court. And during that time, we had I think we lost at Virginia, and we lost by a few points, and that was national. They won the national championship. So, that was kind of my idea with that. And I think, going into next year, now that we have this, we went to Italy during the summer, so we was playing basketball, all summer, all year, kind of like nonstop. But this time that we have off this summer and this spring, I think our chemistry has grown tremendously, just being around each other non-basketball, hanging around each other and not being forced to be around each other. We got weights and workouts, we just around each other because we got to, but now it's like we want to be around each other, we hang around each other, and I think that's going to carry on to the court next year.
Can you guess my favorite highlight of yours from this season?
Carson Edwards.
You got it.
That's a go-to. Mine is actually, we played Iowa, and I think I hit a shot at like a minute left or something like that. That was kind of like my favorite highlight this year. But
that was a good game.
The Carson Edwards, everybody was feeling.
Yeah, what we're talking about is he crossed Carson Edwards up pretty good, cooked him a little bit, got him backpedaling. Can you take me through that play? And was that also is that the worst you've ever got someone like that?
So it was more so just, he was pressuring me the whole game from the start of the game, just playing full court. That's the type of player he is. He's very intense and, into the game. So, I was doing the same thing I did. I was doing the whole game, just, probing up the court, trying to get the ball up the court. And then, I just made a move. And I actually didn't see, his reaction to the move. I just heard the crowd. We was actually running a play, and the play wasn't for me to, shoot the ball. I don't remember. And, so I made the move, and I just hear the crowd. So I'm guessing something happened, and then I gave the ball to Anthony, and he threw it right back. So that meant he must wanted me to shoot it or something. So I gave it. He gave it right back, and I put it up. And then Harms, his name's Harms, right?
Yeah, Matt Harms.
He was closing out. I could barely see the rim, so I make or miss. I had to shoot it because I knew something good had happened already. So.
And it wasn't even an elaborate crossover, really. It was just kind of a hezzy, and it got him.
Yeah, he was pressuring me the whole game, for a course. So it was kind of just a little in and out, just to get him to back off a little bit. But
all right, I'm gonna have you tell me a little bit about your teammates and give me some dirt on them. So it's gonna go through a series of questions here. Who's the goofiest of your teammates and why?
That's hard because they all got their own personalities, and they each one of them got different things about them that make them goofy and funny in their own way. My top three I'm thinking of is Daryl, Sticks, and Aaron. Them three, it's three different personalities, but I get laughs out of them endless all day long. But
any stories come to mind about those guys just clowning or anything like that?
Daryl and Sticks, they know each other, so they are just weird. We could just be walking anywhere, they just break out dancing and doing the weirdest dances ever. Aaron, his sarcastic jokes, he thinks everything is a joke. I can't take him serious at all. He'd tell me something bro, if he would have told me we got a commitment today, right? Cho, if he would have told me Cho committed today, I wouldn't have believed him at all because he just loved to play around so much. And them three, I enjoyed being around them three.
I was reading the story about Damian Lillard a few days ago, and it was about him in college and how it was funny because he was so cheap. When he bought stuff, he would take coupons like Burger King, and he just was a penny pincher, wouldn't get his windows fixed. So not trying to say anyone's broke on your team or anything like that, but do you have a teammate like that's super cheap with stuff? Will always be looking for a deal.
Me? Oh, me? I would say me too, but Daryl. Daryl is a mastermind when it comes to money. He always trying to figure out a way that it can help him in an advantage, like anything, whether it's we going out to eat, getting a little couple dollars off his meal, or anything that he could find just to help him. He know his money, like he good with his money. So I would say Daryl.
You guys can hit up Dame and hang out.
Yeah,
get the best deal at BK. All right, who's the most off the grid teammate? You always got. I feel like I always have friends that like won't get on social media or like be hard to track down. Do you have anyone like that?
Travis Valman, I would say, because we all live next to each other. Like we live across the hall, and I live with Sticks, Aaron, and Sorrell. So it's easy to see them. I just go out in my room. But Travis, he'll pop up on social media here and there. I usually go to their room. They live right down the hall, so I just go see him whenever I need to see him or something. I need to hear his presence. So I definitely say Travis.
Who's the messiest roommate?
I mean, we all got our own rooms and own bathrooms. So I would say I don't really know. I can't really tell, because every time I go in, I mean, everybody keep their stuff clean for the most part, but I mean, yeah, I can't say who really messy like that.
So I was neighbors with the basketball team when I went to Illinois.
Yeah.
And those guys live below me. And some of those apartments, man, were like they live in nice places, but it was like dirty sometimes. Like,
it's days like the trash should just get a little overflowed a little bit.
You guys are busy though. So
yeah, I mean,
there's an excuse.
So like now we more on like cleaning the room and stuff. Like during the season it was tough because we have to leave and grab our stuff and go like on the plane and stuff like that all the time. But now it's like more like we can focus on other things like besides basketball a little bit.
Right. All right. I'm gonna ask one more question about your teammate, a former teammate now at this point, Bruno. Decided to leave. What was playing against him like, or with him like in practice? Like, would he just dominate? Because I feel like who's gonna hold him on your team in practice?
Honestly, it was. I think I only played. So we do a lot of 1-on-1, 2-on-2, 3-on-3, like, helping us defend on ball and, create a shot and stuff like that. And I played Bruno one time this whole year, because we usually do the guards versus the guards, the bigs versus bigs type stuff. I played him one time. It was during the summer, gave him the business. But he'll probably try to say he don't remember that, but yeah. And but just his presence, he made he made it easier a lot for a lot of other guys, in the games and practices, just his presence. We would have practice, people double teaming him because that's what happens in the game. So, even in practice, people double teaming him. He was getting better at making the passes, making the right decision, whether it was the score or rebound. And, he is one of the most unstoppable players I ever played with. Just as far as, getting wherever he want, he could do whatever he want on the court. And, it wasn't really much somebody could do to stop him, but double team him, sometimes triple team him. And, one-on-one, I don't really think it's too many people in college basketball that could have guarded him.
And you had Sticks on the other side. It's pretty unstoppable.
Yeah. Sticks got kind of like that perimeter presence, and then you got Bruno on the interior. So it's a they kind of feed off each other a little bit.
All right, looking ahead to next season now, you guys are getting some preseason love already. There's like early top 25 polls have been coming out. You guys, I think, checked in at top 10 in ESPN's ranking. What's that like now? Like, you guys, I think, had some expectations going into last season, but now it's like kind of real. So what's it like having those expectations?
It's nothing that we like don't feel like we deserve. We work hard. We put a lot of hard work in. This team, we got a lot of 5 freshmen, 6 freshmen. So, like, we just want to work hard. That's kind of like our MO, just go as hard as possible. So every day in practice, we're not taking no practices. We pushing everybody. We pushing each other. And, it's just a blessing to be in that position, and we just got to go out next year and, prove that we're one of the better teams in the country.
All right, well said. Done with Maryland basketball talk for now, but before I let you go, I have to talk some off-the-court stuff, little pop culture, a little NBA.
Yeah.
I assume you're an NBA fan.
Yes, sir.
Who's your team?
I watch too much NBA, but now I'm older, and, those guys will eventually be rivals of mine, God willingly. And, so it's not really about like a favorite team or anything like that. I just like watching different type of players. Like, I take things from different players and try to like implement them into my game. So like Dame, just like his ways of creating shots, how he, with the step backs and all that. And I like Paul George, LeBron, I take things from like Lou Williams. You know, he's small, undersized guard, but he could score very well. So just taking different things from everybody. You know, it's probably like I could run off probably like 15 players I watch tape on, and just trying to learn from them.
Are you a LeBron fan?
Big time. That was, I mean, if I had a team, my favorite team ever would be LeBron and Kyrie when they won the championship against Golden State. That was probably my favorite team ever.
You think it's gonna work out for him in LA? Because like right now it seems kind of messy. I mean, Magic quit.
Yeah.
And they said today that LeBron didn't even know that Magic was quitting and stuff. So do you think they can get that straightened out?
I mean, I'm sure LeBron could do it. He's overcome a lot tougher things in his life than losing season in LA. So I'm pretty sure this isn't the toughest task he's ever had to encounter.
It seems like the Warriors are kind of maybe gonna break up after this year. I don't know. Like KD might go to New York.
I kind of feel that vibe.
Plays a free agent.
Yeah, I kind of feel that vibe. Even on my 2K team, I play 2K. So the game kind of like simulates the year. Clay and KD, they both play with New York on my team. I play on New York.
Oh, okay, I was going to say, you're not someone who plays with the Warriors, are you, on the 2K?
No, I play my player. He played with the Knicks. So you kind of like just control that one player. And, Clay and KD, their free agent year, they came and played over in New York with me. So I don't know how that'll tie into the real life, but, just a little something.
We'll find out pretty soon. All right. I was looking at your Twitter feed before coming in here. I noticed in your bio or your picture, you got a little sneaky AirPod flex going. Is that on purpose? Is that intentional?
Like
you just got
we was getting on the plane. We was getting on the plane, and I actually lost the case to my AirPods, so I probably gotta go get it. I'm probably gonna rock the Beats this year. Next year coming up, I'm probably gonna switch it up because the AirPods they so like. You gotta keep up with them. You gotta be aware of them. Beats, those hard to lose. You can charge them and just put them back in the case and stuff.
That's true. I never had Beats, but like my AirPods are probably my favorite possessions.
Yeah,
because it's so easy to work out in and stuff like that.
Yeah, like they're very convenient. So I might actually get another pair, but I don't know right now. The AirPods, I did like them though. I had them all year. I lost them March Madness, our last game when we played LSU right before the game. So
that was a bad omen then.
I was hurt.
I have to bring this up, even though I don't watch it. Yeah. It's all everyone talks about right now. Are you a Game of Thrones fan?
I've been hearing about it. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I will watch it as soon as I get a chance to. It's just I watch TV, in my free time and stuff, and it's just I just never like caught it a little bit. I've been watching like All American. It's a Netflix series called All American.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, that's a great series. It's a lot of stuff I relate to in that series. So. All American has been my little series I've been watching. Yeah, I'm kind of
like you. I like missed the wave on Game of Thrones, and now it's like everyone's spoiling it on Twitter and stuff. So I'm still probably gonna watch.
Yeah, I'm gonna still watch it because that's all of my teammates, everybody, trainers, all they talk about, and I always see it on Twitter and stuff. So they even promote it like during the NBA games and stuff like that, like TNT and stuff like that. So that's something I'm gonna watch probably sooner or later. All
right, so you obviously like your TV shows. Do you have any other free time hobbies or activities you get into?
2K. I'm big on 2K. I don't spend much time playing it, but if we get like a little free time, I would only play it during the night, like if I'm about to before I go to sleep or something. Like, because during the day I feel like I could be so much more productive than just sitting and playing the game. So, like during the night I try to get some 2K in, and I just like to stay active. I don't really like sitting, just sitting by myself and stuff. So just something just to keep me up and moving. I'm all for it.
I read that you grade yourself after interviews. So, Eric, what would you grade this interview? How do you think you did?
This was casual. I think I did a regular A.
There's a little room for improvement?
Yeah, just a tiny bit. It's always room for improvement. So I like how casual this was. We just talking, chilling and stuff. So
exactly. Yeah, I could talk to you all day, but I'll let you go. I appreciate it. Thanks for having me out here.
Yes, sir.
And good luck next season.
All right.
Expecting big things.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I appreciate you.
All right, thanks once again to Eric for joining me. Thanks once again to the Maryland staff, Sean Ellenby in particular, for helping me set up that interview and getting me in touch with Eric and on the ground there in College Park. It's always fun to sit down with athletes, especially for the podcast, and really get to know him. And Eric was definitely no exception. He was a really cool guy, and wish nothing but the best for him going forward and for that exciting and young Maryland Terrapins program. All right, like I said, just one interview this week, and we just wrapped it up. So shorter episode, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Wanted to definitely get some more Terps representation on this podcast. Look back through the guest list, and unfortunately, I've definitely been slacking on getting more Maryland related guests, but I will try to keep it as even as I can going forward. Looking forward to getting back to Maryland, hopefully in the summer, to talk to a football player on our annual bus tour. And always look forward to visit that campus because it's a cool part of the country and a cool campus. And it's one that, you probably haven't seen if you're a traditional Big Ten fan and you maybe grew up going to games. Them just joined the Big Ten in the last 5 or 6 years. So I highly encourage a visit, and I appreciate, once again, the Terps program allowing me in for a day. All right, thanks to everyone out there for listening. Thank you to my producer, Julie Bronder, this week. Does a great job, as always. And we'll be back next week with another episode of the Take 10 podcast. So until then, talk to you soon.